this goes in, I'm buying this putter right now.
All right.
Good morning and welcome to Vanderbilt Legends Club. I'm Jacquire King. I'm here with two friends, Doug Schoerke and Eric Brown. Doug is a master fitter with Odyssey and Callaway, and Eric is a teaching professional here in Franklin, Tennessee. We're going to do some putter fittings today, and Doug is going to walk us through the new Ai-1 technology with Odyssey. Pretty innovative face designs. We're going to fit a few different levels of putting skill, so that Doug has an opportunity to not only talk about this technology, but to give us a little bit of insight into the importance of putter fitting. I think putter fitting is an overlooked aspect.
Yeah, I would agree. Most people don't really think about putter fitting, and I always tell people it's like that 3-foot putt is as important as that 300-yard drive. A lot of people get fit for a new driver almost every year, but putters they hold on to for 6 or 8 years. There's things that you really need to look at with your putter. Yeah, it might feel right, but the neck might be different. It's not the right length for you. And these are some of the things we look at. We at Odyssey came up with some new technology last year using artificial intelligence to really control the speed of the ball off the face after impact, okay? And we do that by really figuring out where most people hit the shot on the face of the putter, and we make a thicker spot on the putter to be able to control that speed. So by getting that longer putt closer to the hole within that 3-foot circle, you should make more putts. So we want to look at the technology, but we also want to look at different things with the putter based on your stroke that will give you the ability to get the ball rolling a little bit quicker and hold your line.
I'm looking forward to this. Eric, you being someone that gives a lot of lessons, how many putting lessons do you give versus like full swing lessons and short game lessons? What can you say about the value of what we're about to do?
A lot of my lessons tend to be more with the full swing. Putting lessons tend to be very minimal, but it is so important. You know, if you're using that putter a lot more than you're using your driver. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys to go through this and to see where we can continue to build on better putting strokes.
Yeah, expand our knowledge. It looks like we have a lot here to look at, so why don't we start with a young friend of mine, Dawson March, and kind of, he's been playing for a few years, and I would say, you know, he's an intermediate skill.
Okay.
Let's start the putter fitting with looking at Dawson's stroke and what you might recommend and can share with us about this technology.
Fantastic. So Dawson, I want you to roll some putts, and what I'm going to be looking at is your stroke from this angle. I'm going to look at the spin qualities after impact of the golf ball with these True Track golf balls. Okay. And then I'll talk about some things and make some recommendations from there. Beautiful. Okay? Better stroke. Better stroke. All right, now, I don't know whether you guys saw, but at impact, especially on that last one, did you see that ball was up in the air and got down a little later, right? I know Eric, you and Eric were working on some things. Those last strokes were a little bit straighter because you rolled that putter around, right? Mm-hmm. What you have to look at when you're looking at a putter is toe hang, all right? Do you see how you take the putter and you go like this? Do you see how that toe is pointing down? There's various, and let's walk over here and look at some things. Typically putters with these S necks bend down. Do you see that? Yeah. Whereas a putter with a double bend neck, do you see how that's straight up and down? Yeah. All right. Now, if somebody's missing a lot of putts to the right, why do you think that might be?
Toe hang.
Right?
Yep.
You have a putter that has too much toe hang. A lot of times, these putters here, which is called a CH neck, these are deceiving, right? You have to really check in it. You see this one has very, very slight toe hang, just a little bit, whereas something like this, look at the difference, right? So the first thing I tell people to do when they're in a golf shop, retail store, and mess around with putters is look at toe hang. That is huge to think about. And a lot of people don't realize that and know that. So that's very important. Now, if I'm looking at your stroke, you were really kind of fighting to get that putter back around, okay? So what I want to do is want to just start and try something with no toe hang, okay? This is a straight up and down putter. I want you to stroke with that, and let's just see what the difference is made there, okay?
When you talk about the toe hang and not having that toe hang, would that also be considered a face balanced putter?
Yes, that's a face balanced putter, right? And there are some strategies about, depending on what your stroke is like, you need a face balanced putter. If you're more of an arc putter, or straight back, straight through, you need, less. But I still like to look at the stroke, right? Because we don't want people compensating for that.
Right.
All right?
I think that holds true. So many people will compensate with a putter that's not fit to their stroke.
Exactly.
And they start fighting it.
Yes.
And it doesn't allow them to move naturally through.
Exactly. And those are the little things that we look at, all right? That people don't think about.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and stroke some more.
You're a genius,
What
Doug.
a difference. My work is done.
Very good. Nice roll, bud.
Thank you.
You're thinking about all those scorecards this year.
Hey now.
Good putt. I mean, that's...
Hit one more. And I want to point something out. Dead on. Now, if we want to rewind and look at your first putter, where were you missing those putts?
To the right.
Right over there. When I watched you over here, where were you missing those putts?
To the right.
Toe hang, my friend.
Interesting.
All right. That makes a difference. Now, obviously those were straight on line, and he even missed it to the other side. All right. That's the neck of the putter. Now, a couple other things I want to talk about and look at. So we have a lot of different options here. There's people look at blade putters and mallet putters, okay? Mallet putters, we have a lot of different choices, and they talk about on tour, I think the ratio is 70-30 mallet to blade, all right? There's various, that has face balance, right? This 2-ball putter's the most popular putter ever, all right? So we came out with a 2003. The difference between a blade and a mallet is MOI. When you bring that putter back and through, how much MOI is moment of inertia, how much does it spin, right? Some people really need that help of it not spinning, or being able to have the putter help you rotate and go around and get back to the center. Or if you're more handsy with it, that helps you take the hands out, right? So let's take a look at some popular mallets, and I want to watch you stroke a few with the mallet. This is our number 7 putter. Again, it's a face balance putter.
Right.
And then I'll talk about the differences here, and also some things that you need to think about if you're going to get a mallet putter, okay? Let's stroke a few with this.
No, it's not.
So straight, though.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's just,
still
this is
straight.
really about pace uphill.
Yes, right.
So one of the things with a mallet putter, and I see this with you, is that a lot of people see this on the back, and they're like, okay, I don't want this to get caught, right? I need to pull it up so it doesn't get caught, especially on long putts. A lot of people get hesitant, and they are worried about the motion through the putt. I saw that with you, all right? Yeah. You were short on a lot of these putts. You're thinking about speed a lot. And for somebody like you with the thoughts of speed, I'd rather go back to that first putter, all right? And really focus on something like this. This is a mid mallet, okay? So it still has some MOI versus the traditional putter like this. And again, if you have this neck on it, you really have to look at the toe hang. So I would really, for you, focus on this putter, and let's putt a few more.
Do you find most of the times with the larger heads, people have a tendency to watch the head
Yes.
instead of focusing on the stroke?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
There's some
On the
speed.
better side.
Yeah.
Much more confident.
Yep.
Looks like it's going in. Oh, yes!
Treat this like a tournament over here.
Yeah, it's better speed.
Better speed. Do you see how tight the rotation was on
Yeah.
that golf ball
Yeah.
versus your others? If we want to rewind with your putter, it wasn't as tight. Those are the things I'm looking at. It was a better stroke for you.
Right.
Okay? I really like that head for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's something to think about. Now, there's two other things before I make a final decision that we talk about is length. How does that length feel to you?
This length feels great. I don't really know. I haven't tried the other lengths. I don't know what would feel better, but I mean, right now I have no complaints about the length.
Okay. The lie angle looks good. The reason that I stand back here is I don't want to see this up here or this down here. You had a very nice lie and you had more surface area on the ground, which is something that I look at.
Okay.
The other thing too is if that putter's too short, what happens? You're down in here, right?
Which creates tension.
What creates tension, and also, you know, where am I looking at the golf ball, right? So those are some things to think about.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do before I make a final decision is I want you to just hit a couple longer putts. And
Yep.
I want to go here because you need to get the feel for this head on a longer putt.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, and I really, the tightness in the roll you're talking about on this last putter was really
Yep. You
very,
can see the
very,
difference.
very noticeable.
Yep. That's why I use these golf balls.
Yeah, and I don't think he changed his stroke significantly, but the speed up the hill was much better because the ball wasn't jumping and skidding and
Exactly.
you know
Can
all that
hold the
kind of
line
stuff.
a lot easier
Exactly.
and better.
Yeah.
All right, let's knock it in.
Check this out. If this goes in, I'm buying this putter right now.
All right. He killed it.
Hit that on a heartbeat.
Tight
Yeah.
roll.
Very tight roll though.
If this goes in, I'm buying this putter.
That's a better stroke.
Oh!
That's a really good stroke.
I think you should still buy it.
I should still get it.
Yeah,
I mean, I've never hit a putt like that before either.
he
So.
didn't miss it on the left.
Yeah, Eric gave him a little
There you go.
grip lesson. Oh!
Pretty close.
Pretty
Yeah.
close.
It kind of bounced, but you see how it got tighter?
Mm-hmm.
So,
that-
to me, that's a good setup for you.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that.
When you start talking about the mallets, a 2-ball putter and the other one with the tracks, the benefits of those, is it mainly alignment?
It is alignment and it is MOI, that putter being able to use the technology of that putter to get back and around. The mallets are generally, you know, for people that want that club to really do a lot of the bending. But for you, I could see it up there that, okay, I gotta hit this a little bit softer because it's a bigger head. No.
Yeah, right. Right, yeah, and it's just like, it psychs me out a little bit.
Yep,
Or it's-
yep.
This is just easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great.
Awesome.
So DG is he's a very beginner
Okay.
at golf. So he hasn't had any learned tendencies.
Okay.
So I'm kind of interested to see
Yeah,
what,
see what the
see
stroke
what goes
looks
on
like.
with him.
I want to start with a very basic putter with him. All right. This just has toe hang. Let's take a look here. All right, DG. Let's see what we got. Yeah, he's gonna miss it to the right, unless he rotates his hand.
It has a tendency to point right.
Oof.
Take your time.
Don't worry. Just flow through it.
Better.
There you go.
Nice.
Better stroke. Obviously, where'd we miss those? To the right?
To the right, yeah.
All right. Some of that was your alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not the golf pro, but I do play golf, and I actually, the way and I'm pretty good at reading greens. I actually started caddying when I was 13 years old. I grew up in the Chicago area and was the #1 caddy when I was 15 years old. So I know how to read greens. I also caddied for Calvin Pete on tour a couple times. So reading greens is important. And also, obviously, before you putt, you want to get behind the hole and kind of look at it, right? So I typically come in here and line up like this, right? Okay. Because you're just first going here and it's go over to the right. Would you agree, Eric?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I want to start with a little different putter for you. This is, there are blade putters, which are these. There are mid mallets, which we just talked about, and then they get a little bit bigger, right? And then you get into the larger mallets, all right? I want to kind of start with a mid mallet with you and just see how this helps you. And again, this neck is very face balanced, all right? We don't have toe hang. That's going to help with those putts to the right.
Yeah, there you go. Stand behind that.
You know, the importance of getting behind it, and you start to see where you want that ball to travel as opposed to coming into it on the side. And then players, when they come into the side, will have a tendency to lift their bodies up to see where the line is. And they've already set their feet and their idea of where they want the ball to go. But by getting behind it, now you can kind of chart your course, if you will. Try to get his right under more so it's not so much on top.
Yeah.
Or I said, feel like you're going to give blood.
There you go.
If I said, I'm going to take your blood, you're not going to go like this. You're going to go like that.
Right.
Fairly straighter.
It's a better
That was
roll.
a little straighter, wasn't it?
Yeah, better roll, for sure.
All right, let's work on trying to get to that hole. It's almost like I'm a softball pitcher and I'm pitching it out to the hole.
There you go.
Good.
Better.
Nice.
See how you missed it to this side versus this side, and you see how that roll was tighter.
Yes.
Close. How's that putter feel?
It definitely feels a lot like more even and smooth, I should say.
Okay. All right, I want to go to a classic here. Try the 2-ball putter, okay? This 2-ball putter is the most popular putter of all time, all right? And we have a patent on the size of these balls, right? That's the same diameter as a golf ball. Humans line up objects with objects. So it's really an alignment technique that is used with this 2-ball, right? So I want you to use this as an alignment tool as well.
Okay.
So when you get back here and look at the golf balls of 3 golf balls, are they aligned this way, this way?
Gotcha.
Use that as an alignment tool.
Pretty tight.
Not bad.
Very tight roll.
Yeah.
You see how tight that was?
Yeah,
that's
it felt
great.
very nice.
Now, when you talk about being tight, you're talking about those dots on there and how fast they're spinning,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Because if you're hitting up on the ball and that ball is staying up in the air for a while and then gets down on the ground, it won't be as tight.
It's kind of wobbly.
The quicker it gets on the ground, the tighter those dots will be, right? Now, obviously a little speed off the face makes a difference if you really pound it, but
Sure.
I'm looking right at impact. When do those start getting tight? Straight on line, we just got to get it to that
I
hole.
gotta get my power back on.
That's right.
Yeah, just have the putter head flow through the ball. There you go.
That alignment seems to really help him too.
It does. Yep. He's been dead on line these last 2 putts.
That was good speed.
But good speed. All right. I want you to hit some short putts.
Okay.
Dawson, do you feel like that 2-ball helps you to get better aligned?
Yeah, a little bit. It definitely helps me feel like I'm taking a more, I guess, like direct shot.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what it's for. And other putters don't have that. And I'll talk to you the difference about our Jailbird putter as well.
Gotcha.
And the alignment aid that it has.
Good stroke.
Good stroke.
Missed on the high side.
Yep. So his shoulders and feet are a little open. There you go.
Nice. Good work.
Thank you.
Doug, it feels like because of his level of experience that this 2-ball putter is,
Yes.
you know, that may be more important than actually how much. I mean, obviously it's a little more face balance, but that seems more important than toe hang. Almost.
Exactly, it does. It's actually an alignment training aid to help you get into that, right? And it's helped. We've seen it. Those putts are online.
Yeah,
okay,
tremendously.
One other little thing. Do you know if you're left or right eye dominant?
I think I'm right eye dominant. But...
Okay. And sometimes your dominant eye makes a difference in your viewing as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So if you're looking at it from this eye versus this eye, there's a difference. And people that are on this eye, I typically like something with a little bit more offset like that. It helps. But this is a great alignment aid, and I think for you at this level and the fact that this is face balance, this is a great putter for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Would
Doug?
you agree?
Yes, I would.
Perfect.
Doug, how would you suggest people find out if they're right eye or left eye dominant? Is there something that they can do?
Yeah, there's a technique that you can use with your you put something out and you close your eye and open it and see if you can still see that in the distance.
Yeah, when you make that triangle and look at something in the distance with both eyes open, whichever eye that you keep open and the image doesn't move is your dominant eye.
Yep. I think this is a good starting point for you in a couple different reasons. It's a mallet. It's gonna help with the rotation. You have the alignment, and you definitely need something that is face balanced.
Definitely.
Perfect.
Could we look at the lefty before I go?
Yeah, I want to because I want to talk about the
jailbird.
jailbird. Let's start with a 2-ball, just for giggles, and it has that neck. If you need toe hang, but yeah. All right, you know our drill.
Southpaw.
Southpaw Reid.
That's right.
What you got, Reid?
All right, Reid.
So I do something a little weird. For some reason, I've always lined up like this first.
Okay.
I don't know why, just to see it better, and then I kind of come over.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's stroke some putts.
Perfect. Crushed it.
You know, when you start to get squatty, you get very handsy.
Yep. Okay.
Pushing all of them right.
Right. So what is in what we've been talking about today, you actually could use some more toe hang. Okay.
For sure.
So let's try something with some toe hang. All right. So I want you to putt with this putter now.
All right.
All right. Remember how we talked about the toe hang? Look at that. Okay. So let's putt with this. Also, Reid, you have kind of a pop stroke.
Gotcha.
The first couple were just pop, pop, pop. The last one you forced your hands around.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
But we still missed them all to the right.
Gotcha.
Let's see, but now, you also need to look at length. You're a little bit taller.
Gotcha.
When we measure length for golf clubs, I have people stand like this, and I measure up to the top of the wrist. Okay? Now, I am short with long arms, right? Everybody's different, right? So I actually fit to a shorter length. With putters, it's a little different. You've probably compensated down, so it's going to change. I'd like to look at a larger length. If you do that, you also have to be sensitive of the lie angle of the putter.
Gotcha.
We want it probably a little bit more upright for you.
Gotcha.
Because we want to get you, Eric, would you agree, out of that position where you're down and putting.
Once you start to get squatty, the hands tend to take over more,
Yep.
and you become very wristy.
I can
So
feel
now
that
that
for sure.
stroke's not there. By having you stand taller, it allows you to swing your arms and your hands more.
Yeah.
All right, let's put a few here.
All right.
That just goes to show the importance of getting the right length
Exactly.
for a player as well.
Exactly. Most people just grab a 35-inch putter off the rack and let's go.
Well,
Be sensitive of our speed, and he's kind of a pop stroke putter.
Very nice.
We haven't seen one go to the left side.
No, that's true.
So why is that, Doug?
A lot of it is the toe hang. A lot of it is he's really doesn't have a lot of arc in his stroke.
Right.
Right? The other guys had a little bit more arc to their stroke. He's more of a pop, kind of a straight back, straight through pop. So we want to look at toe hang, right? Did you see that? You didn't miss those?
Huge difference.
So now, just for giggles,
Gotcha.
I want you to try a very popular putter that people have seen out on tour.
All right.
And this is our Jailbird Cruiser putter.
Woo.
All right. I don't want to take the wrapper off for you. You're nice, but I don't want to.
I understand that.
Put you a virgin putter there, pal. All right. So now, this does have face balance, but the difference in this putter is the head weight is heavier. Okay. The shaft is longer, and the grip is heavier. Right. I didn't talk about our shaft technology that really is important in this. This is our Stroke Lab technology on the shaft. All right. We're not counterbalancing the putter, we're rebalancing the putter. For years, there were bigger grips out there that were very popular, but they were also lighter weight. So you really didn't have a balance in the feel of the head weight versus the shaft. We actually put a weight here in the butt end of the shaft to balance it out, because this head is 380 grams versus 340, all right?
Wow.
Now, this Versa technology for us is more of an alignment aid, okay? And it really looks at the alignment this way. Are we open? Are we closed, right? You're using these lines, whereas the 2-ball putter's more this way in alignment.
Along the target line.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're, my tendency is to miss it to the right, well, maybe I could be more conscious of it, which is great, but let's see how we putt with it, because when putting, I don't want to put a lot of things in your mind, right? It's like, okay, is this right? Putt the ball, right? One of the things I want to look at is the different length and how it changes your stroke here.
How much weight was put in the end of that?
The gram weights on the back, on the top of it, I want to say is 15 grams. It varies on the length of the putter and the style of the head.
You can see how much taller
Look
he's
at
standing.
that.
Look at how much taller he's standing just
look
with
at
that.
That feels great.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the comment we
That
want.
feels so good.
But look at his positioning.
Yeah. He's not so down.
Oh, I'll push that one a little bit.
But you could feel that.
Did you
I
see how
felt it.
tight the roll
I
was?
felt it.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. But you felt the push, which is
Absolutely.
important.
Ah, such a better position. You kind of went over across. I
Yeah.
could see it on the roll. Let's put a couple more.
Perfect.
But by getting that longer putter in his hands, it changed his body position. And also in talking about that, the alignment piece for him, I think it helps him on that side, because his tendency with the others, if it's a small face balance mallet that was a little lighter head, this weight's compensating for some of that.
Reid, does that feel easier to swing the putter back and through?
Oh, absolutely.
So if I asked you to go ahead and choke down on it, I want you to feel like where you were before. Keep going, keep going. You were down in here. You feel how squatty and tight that feels, and you feel jammed, right?
For sure.
So
I
now
definitely
as you
feel
move,
a lot more wristy.
yeah. So now as you move back up to what feels comfortable,
Oh, yeah.
Gives you some ability.
Night and day.
It'll make you more athletic.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Great
Beautiful.
putt.
Yeah, it feels amazing.
so often I find that too. Players will get real down.
Yep. And it really
Not a bad roll.
restricts the motion.
I feel so much better.
Yeah.
Feel better?
Absolutely.
All right. So again, although you need some toe hang, the heavier head is really keeping that going through.
Yeah.
Now, like I had talked about before with these putters, I want you to hit a couple of long putts because you want to get used to that speed because it's a heavier head.
Yeah.
So when we come down here and just hit a few long putts for me.
Back in the day with Nicklaus and Palmer, they were always down, right? So what we want now is we want that freedom to move through it, which you're probably feeling right now with a longer putter.
Yeah. Versus that pop stroke there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Alrighty.
You think about that too with Nicklaus and Palmer. They would get down and they would pop it, but they had to get that ball up and rolling because the greens were going as tightly. Yeah.
Good putt.
Good putt, man.
See how tight that roll was?
Oh, yeah.
He's actually, because that head's bigger too, he's actually moving through the putt more than this.
Yeah.
You can see it forces him to do that. And some of it is possibly the jailbird lines on there too.
Yeah, you can see the putter head moving a lot better.
Very good putt.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
I'm buying it right now.
I think we end with that.
Very good.
Very good.
Thank
Very
you
good.
Love
much.
it.
It's fascinating how the nuances in the technology and all this, you know, that can help a player so much.
Yes.
To not have to manufacture a stroke.
It does. It does. And that's why I have all these putters and different necks and heads. But again, you don't want to assume that somebody on tour is playing this, it's right for you, because there are a lot of nuances.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This putter gave you a different position and it really changed his stroke.
It really freed him up.
Yes.
It really freed him up. It relieved a lot of tension. And that's the biggest thing that could kill us in putting is tension. Once you start to create that tension.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So,
Love it. All right.
Awesome.
I'm very eager to hit these new putters.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got here.
Let's see it.
Consistent.
Consistently to the
Is that?
yeah, he's missing it on that side. So it doesn't have too much toe hanging, that's for sure.
I pulled that one.
Yep. All right, let's hit a couple more.
Yep. I'm nervous, Doug.
Let's see, his hands are up forward. A lot of that might be compensating for the putter.
Trying to control it.
Yeah, the heel's up.
And I pushed it. Trying to compensate for what I was doing wrong. Under pressure, I feel like I'm having to manufacture a putt a little bit more than if I'm just, you know, on my own, doing my thing. But that's, you know, that's telling in a pressure situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, I'm putting terrible right now. But this is good. This is probably revealing what you could help me with.
Better. So, what has our tendency been on our misses?
Yeah, lefts.
Right?
Yep.
So, and I think some of it is, as I look back here, is you're up in here,
Okay.
right? So what happens with that? The heel's up,
Okay.
making it more upright, and it's really you're trying to more, and if you don't move your hands around, yeah.
Yep.
So if I'm looking at you, just from the start, I'm saying, you know, yeah, you need more toe hang, and this has a lot of toe hang. So let's try and get something. I want you to putt with something like this.
Okay.
All right. This is more of a mallet, and because the head is a little bit larger, it's going to affect the roll pattern a little bit, and it might help us with those left shots. Like that.
Wow. Because I mean, I feel like my mind has calmed down a little bit since I was putting and you talked to me, but you explaining a little bit of what my tendency is kind
Right.
of.
Again,
but I feel less struggle with this.
Yes, we've added a little bit more size to it.
Yeah.
So it takes your hands out of play a little bit more. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Better. 2.
Pressure's on for the third one.
See, his tendency is to pull up, and that heel is getting up, which makes he has to rotate.
Has to rotate the square.
Yeah, I want to take that out. I'd almost flatten the putter out.
I feel like I'm using the same setup and technique, but it just feels a little easier.
That was right on line.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing, and I was talking to Eric about, was your tendency. If you're behind me, you get up in here. All right. You see that?
Yep.
With both putters.
Yeah.
All right. I would, one of the things that we might want to think about is, well, let's flatten it,
Okay.
possibly, but this is your tendency.
Well, may I try, because I think that's part of my setup process.
Yes.
So
let's try even more of a mallet
Okay.
for you, because that's going to take it out. It's just getting used to it. Let's try this mallet.
Do you find when
this
players
is very heavy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
do you find when players do that, when they get this way, it creates tension?
Yes.
In their shoulders,
Yes.
and their hands, and their forearms,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Now, let's talk about grip size, okay? Have you always used a small grip like that?
No.
Like that?
No, I
okay.
have not.
Have you used like a super stroke grip?
Yeah,
a large?
I have. Yeah,
How
I
did
have.
that feel, and why did you switch, or just thought process there?
I just sort of fell out of favor with it. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really
Okay.
have a good explanation for you.
Yeah. If a player's handsy, the larger grip will
Calm that down?
Calm that down a little bit, and take it out of play. You don't have to squeeze it as tight. You can softly put your hands on there. I should go out in the car and get my putter for him. It's the number 3 with a super stroke grip.
Is it?
Yeah.
This doesn't feel as comfortable in my hands.
Okay.
I would say
Right?
that.
And again, mallets, you have to get used to that size.
Yeah. I think part of it is just the way it's laying on the ground, and I go to like, take my grip. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It just feels
Right.
very different.
Straight on.
Ooh, I thought it was going to drip in there.
You know, too, I think, Jacquire, you made a great point by changing that putter, where Doug talked about so often players will just pull a putter off the rack and will manufacture their stroke. That just goes to tell us how important it is by getting that right putter in your hand instead of picking something up going, this looks good.
I mean,
and then
I
you
think
start
most people probably pick a
manufacturing.
putter based on just how it looks and how cool they think it might be, or
Exactly.
that their favorite player plays a certain type of putter, or like, oh, well, this is what my dad played, and
Exactly.
however.
And again, that 3-foot putt is as important as that 300-yard
Oh,
drive.
absolutely. When you're on the green, it's not about the next shot. You got to get it in the hole.
Exactly.
When you tee off, you still have an opportunity to make up some ground.
Exactly.
But off the face, it feels really good.
Yes.
It's I'm just.
Let's try one
It's
more.
just in the setup, it feels very, very, very different.
It's heavier. Let the putter do the work.
And these
Let
are taking.
the putter do the work.
That one took my hands out of it.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't feel like I'm doing something dramatically different, but it does feel there is more ease with it.
Right. See, he still has that toe up a little bit. Nice. Just that popped up in the air a little bit more. I think I want to go up to the car and get mine.
This, compared to the previous mallet, does not feel as nice off the face.
Okay. Yep. And we'll talk about that.
Well, this is the two different kinds of inserts too.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Is that what it?
Yeah.
Probably.
That's
Okay.
why you're feeling the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer the. Yeah.
I like that third one.
I
So
prefer the other one. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
let's go back to that again. Actually, I was telling Eric, the putter that is mine and is in my car is that, but it's got a little difference to it. I might run out and grab that
Okay.
for you, but let's put a little bit more with
Sure.
this.
Sure.
You see that? You did on that. So
I didn't really hit that very
right,
well.
and you could see if you were watching that at impact, that ball was up in the air and it had
skidded.
side spin.
Yeah.
That wasn't because of toe hang. That was because of side spin. Better. Don't move your head until you hear that ball go in the hole.
Yes, sir.
Down and through it.
Yep. That was
Like
a better
that.
stroke.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm peeking.
Yes. Yeah. And
What's
on-
under the tree?
yeah, on top. See, the other thing we were noticing too was that you take it straight up and around.
Ah.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So you want to keep it a little bit and keep that heck. And then if you're taking it up and up, there's a
I
lot
did
of
pretty good
movement
for
in that
such a
putter,
garbage stroke.
right? No, it's not bad. It's not bad. Can I go out in my car? and get
Yeah.
the putter?
Sure, man.
This is my same model, but it is slightly shorter.
Uh huh.
Okay. and it's a little bit more upright and has a bigger grip.
I don't feel like I have as much control.
With the bigger grip?
Yeah.
Yep.
But that also could be learned, you know.
That was a good stroke.
What's that?
That was a good stroke.
That was a good stroke. Now, the grip, you know, your hands is a little different.
Yeah.
This putter is 1 degree upright.
Okay.
All right. So what happens is that changes the toe hang. It's not as much. You actually, I would say you would need something like this in a little shorter length, and I would almost say you need to make it flatter and not upright. Let's put a little bit more with this. Better stroke. That was a really good stroke.
Thank you.
Keep that head still till you hear it go in the hole. Right there. All right, one last thing I want to try. See how much toe hang that has? I want to see how you do with this neck. And I have a reason.
Okay.
So I rotated his hands.
Yeah.
Felt like I pulled that one.
Still a good putt.
Yeah. His hands are flatter, they're not as upright.
That one's flatter. Or
Yeah,
just shorter.
the larger grip is kind of messing with me a little bit.
Yep. All right, let's try this.
What's the length on that? 34?
That one's 35.
35.
I like how the toe of this putter gets around versus him trying to work it with this. Did you see that?
That felt good to me.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And it has more
This
toe.
this putter is heavier too.
A little bit. It's the weight's different.
I feel more of the weight in the handle.
His hands are in a better position. That's a better stroke. See how tight that was?
Yeah.
So what I'm seeing here is interesting. To have that, I'm saying it with your putter, you were almost like forcing your hands upright.
Okay.
Which creates tension.
Which creates tension. It creates something that you really have to do with the toe and bringing it up.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
With this putter, visually, mentally, your hands were in a lot better position and they weren't as tense, right? You weren't up in here. You were here, which created a lot better stroke, okay? Whether it just be the neck that you're seeing, the front and back weights, but I could see a difference in the stroke, all right?
One thing Doug talked about too, with you were able to release this toe differently through impact, so your hands were able to rotate instead of holding on to it and trying to manipulate it.
Let's hit some short putts.
You know, with that 35-inch, he can stand taller. He doesn't have to get down. And I think that with the shorter putter is going to create that tension too.
Kept your head still.
Yep.
He left it open.
Yeah,
flinched.
left it open. Handsy. Now,
Am I hopeless?
no, just for giggles. So let's just putt with this for giggles.
Short
putts.
Yep.
See if the putter can do more work. Yeah, he still has that.
I feel like I have to work a little harder with this one.
Yeah.
Let's go back with this, but I'm leaning towards just that basic number one right now.
This one?
No.
The other, yeah, me too.
That blade. See. That he's with that neck, he has to force that toe around a little bit.
There's more offset to the other one.
Yes.
In the gooseneck, right? Or what
Yes.
they call a plumber's neck, I guess it is.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
It doesn't feel as comfortable. I mean, I
Okay.
think my success rate seems similar, but
Yeah. So
I feel like the number one feels a little bit more just natural.
Yeah, Eric and I were talking about that.
Right here.
So I think the fact that it has this offset for you, it forces you to get that toe back, and it really, we saw it naturally for you. The key is to work that toe around. All right.
Yep.
With your putter, you've manipulated your stroke and you're upright. The putter's too short. With this, it just seemed very natural that you could get that toe around. Obviously, head movement and a few other little things that you can work on.
Yeah.
But to me, this does have toe hang, which you
Which
need,
I like,
but it forces you to kind of get that toe around more, because that offset's there. Hey, I gotta move this a little bit more.
Okay.
So I really like this. Let's hit some long putts,
Okay.
and then we'll come to some final conclusions.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's
Always the
interesting.
case.
You talk about the releasing of that toe. As a player releases the toe, they'll stay down lower longer. Once you start to manipulate it,
Yeah.
a player pops up and out.
Which creates spin, and that roll isn't as tight.
Right.
Yeah, his body position's great.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a good roll. That's a good roll.
Okay.
Good roll. Forced his hands over on that.
You did.
Yep. I think where we are, that is a good fit for you.
Yep.
I actually like the length too.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want that putter a little bit shorter. I think it forces you to get in a different position.
Is this a 35?
With your
or-
hands? That's 35
Oh,
inches.
okay. And mine
Yep.
is what?
34.
34.
Yeah. Again, it creates some more natural
Yeah.
movement. And for you, that little bit of offset helps you rotate your hands better, in my opinion. So I really like it. That has our AI milled face, so
Yep.
you still have the different spots on the inside. You can't necessarily see it,
Right,
but
right.
it's there. So there you go.
Sold.
I like it.
I will order this.
Done. All right. Thank you.
Thank you
Enjoyed
very
it.
much.
Eric, thanks. That was
Thank
a lot
you.
of fun.
Thanks for watching. Thank you for coming out and doing this with us today,
You're
Eric.
welcome.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Both of you for helping me and helping the guys and showing us about this really new, great technology.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Great.